Hello everyone. I had a very scary situation happen to me a little while ago. I was sitting down having a drink, a fizzy drink, and all was going well when I suddenly felt like I was going to die. Now, at the time, I was recovering from flu. Now, as I said, I really thought I was dying. I thought it was like a heart attack or something because it was around that area. And then, as the wind passes out of me because I had a fizzy drink, I started to feel better. And then I began to realise that no, I'm not dying. I have a VP shunt and the wind got trapped behind it. I'm sorry, but this is just one of the many things they do not warn you about after you have a shunt operation. Apparently, it can also happen with women who have had caesarean sections as well. Also, I just want to clarify that it was in the middle of the night. It was about 1 o'clock. I woke up and I felt really thirsty, so I thought I would have a drink, and then I thought I would use the bathroom, and I was on my way there when the feeling of what I thought was a heart attack hit me. I couldn't call out and I didn't know what to do, so I decided, do I continue to go to the loo and try to speak, or do I go back to bed and hope it passes? I decided to take the path of going back to bed because it was 1 o'clock and I was tired. Also, I just want to clarify, having a VP shunt is not a bad thing. I wouldn't be here without it. If I didn't have the shunt, I would never have made my YouTube channel, and I would have ended up watering the garden with my head due to hydrocephalus. But there are some things they don't tell you. For example, the amount of wind that you get. If your shunt is being replaced, or in my case they couldn't remove mine, so they left it in while it slowly died, even though they had to put the new one in, if they're both going, you can feel it. I kind of knew when it stopped working because I stopped having that feeling of two things working at the same time. It is the most peculiar sensation and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Now, I've had my shunt for a very long time, and yet I will still sometimes have moments when I think I'm dying, only to have unbearable wind. If there is someone in my audience who has had something similar, I'd love to know, and I'd love to know how you cope and what you do. Also, if you have any other symptoms, or if you know anything else that I have missed out, I'd love to know. Also, another symptom that I almost forgot is that if someone touches my stomach or moves my clothes, or if I put too much pressure on my neck, it seems to make that swell up. And I don't understand that. The doctor said it has nothing to do with it, but I can't think of anything else because if you look up the diagram of how the shunt is put in, you'll see that it does affect the neck and the stomach area. So therefore, it would make sense. The one thing that I loved about Jack is that when I got wind trapped behind places, he would jump on that place very gently or just put pressure on it and it would go. And I wouldn't have moments like I'm dying. Regarding my neck, I have measured and it does make a 1/2 inch difference when that happens, so there's obviously a swelling about 1/2 inch, but I just don't understand how that happens. My doctor would just say that it's due to the arthritis, but that's there all the time and I only feel the difference if it's touched, moved or anything like that very sharply. I think it's to do with that, but I'd also love your opinion. Also, when we put this to another doctor, they said that it was nothing to do with it. It could be a food allergy, even though I wasn't eating anything at the time, and neither was anyone else. It also seems to happen normally when my body is jilted sharply, and I'm just going to warn anyone that the wind that you get is enough to bring the strongest person to tears. I'm assuming the reason they have to open your stomach is to reposition and rearrange the shunt to make sure that it fits properly. But oh, the wind. Also, since having the second operation, my coordination and brain function has been a little bit slower, so I don't know if that's because obviously they've had to deal with my brain. Unfortunately, I didn't do YouTube until 2022, so there's no comparison, but I have noticed that I'm not as sharp as I used to be. My mum says that it would make sense that obviously they had to touch and deal with my brain, so therefore I'm going to have some side effects from it. However, the really big things are the face blindness and the aphantasia, which I definitely didn't have before, or if I did, it wasn't strong, and the misophonia, while I always was known for having the sharpest hearing in the house, it didn't hurt like it does now. The final thing that I also remember is that I had a squint when I was younger, which I'm now believing was to do with the first operation, because when I was younger it was only in one eye. Now it appears to be in both eyes. It just appears to be a lazy muscle in the head rather than being a lazy eye muscle. So I can have a squint in either eye at any time, and it almost stopped me from getting a passport because they thought that there was something wrong with the picture. Let me know in the comments if you or someone you know has had something similar. If you're still here, then you're handsome, and you're beautiful, and you, well, I'm speechless. I'll let you know next time I see you. Over to the pets. Hello all, this is Sylvie. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more. Hey everyone, my name's Bonjo. If you enjoyed yourself, then give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and if you had fun, then comment down below and let my mum know what is the scariest thing you've had to go through recently.